Minecraft is one of those hidden gems that people haven't really touched on. And while I would like to focus on indie games, I'd like to talk about the game everyone else is talking about, because at this point I feel pretty left out. 4D Miner, a voxel-based game where you can travel across the fourth dimension. If you don't know what this game is, then you're seriously living under a rock. I'm not here to summarize what this game is or even explain it to those who don't know what it is. So, I'll just get on with why I'm talking about it in the first place. I'm here to talk about the first, one of the only two multiplayer servers in the game so far, 4d4t.org. And for those of you who don't know, multiplayer is out. It works. It runs. It's not spectacular when it comes to performance. Okay, there are some problems, a few, just a small handful. Shit. Okay, yeah. But I'm not here to talk about the bugs so that they get patched. I hope that they don't, and I hope that they do. And I don't know which it is, and I'm hoping that, honestly, other features get added before the bugs get patched, which sounds crazy. But I'm not here to talk about all the problems in the game or all the features I like just yet. First, I'd like to get something off my chest. I'd like to talk about my experience on 4d4t.org and what I'm accomplishing. You see, when I first started, I started off as, just a regular person finding resources, and then I saw that there was no spawn radius, there was just spawn, there was just one block, so I decided to dig down below that block, and then I noticed that people could just move forward, and so I dug down a few more blocks, and I would dig, and I would dig, and I would dig, until there was a pit below spawn that was harder and harder to avoid. And some people fought me on this. Some people tried to stop me because, of course, it's a spawn trap. It's the first spawn trap. In fact, it was the first spawn trap in 4d4t history, or 4D Miner history for that matter. And I earned that title, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something much, much more game-breaking. It started with two separate glitches discovered on the same day of multiplayer release. The first glitch wasn't anything too technical. It was just a harmless oversight, with harmless consequences. Or so it seems. Every player has their own UUID, which is a code for each player's account. It's what they're identified by instead of a username or password. It exists as a file on your computer when you launch the game. Somebody with the same UUID can't log in twice into the same server. But with multiple instances of the same game with different unique UUIDs, they're able to make clones of themselves. Launch it with multiple instances. This oversight would allow for people to keep items in what is essentially a safe, since the inventory was kept upon death. But this wouldn't grant us much, since there aren't many items in the game yet and the inventories were quite big. Having alts would also allow for one to have their base neatly tucked away as far away from spawn as they wished and be able to travel back to spawn almost instantly. You could be in two places at once, but you can only do so much at once. And this leaves us with the second glitch. I was made aware of the second glitch by Redyard, who also discovered the first one around the same time I did. What he discovered gave way to the cloning glitch, and I call it a glitch for lack of a better word, but, the second one was most certainly a glitch. If the player held down an input, such as W, S, spacebar, right click, left click, anything like that. And the action would allow for them to hold down the input to continue doing the action, such as breaking or attacking. Well, there was a glitch that allowed for you to continue doing that action automatically if you continued that and pressed T to open chat. You see, T would allow for the player to continue doing that action as if you put a weight on your spacebar and it just continued pushing that button. Now this glitch had a 100% repeatability rate, which would allow for you to produce something out of it, mining in a straight line forever, or jumping and building below you as you travel from spawn. That's the closest thing to a lava cast we have, is towering up while you hold down right click or anything of the sort. This glitch, coupled with the initial oversight and a pure stroke of genius, would allow for the first time in 4040 history, clone labor. This would allow for highways to be carved out automatically and for automatic travel along said highways. With multiple copies of the game and multiple instances with unique UUIDs for each, I was able to dig a 1,000 long highway from spawn to Z1K, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. I want to make it to 10K, and I'm going to. But I can't do it alone. I need your help. I need help forming the first coalition. The coalition to make it to 10K and make it so that we can automatically travel that far. For the first time in 4040 history, we will be able to travel 10,000 blocks without doing it manually, and I need your help. You see this pattern right here? I call it arc tiling. It hinders griefing from the Ultra Hammer and effectively makes it less efficient than griefing with a pickaxe. It's a pattern with each block being out of the Ultra Hammer's 3x3x3x3 radius of any other block of the same type. I can't make this pattern with clone labor, I need manual help. But I shall continue my journey to 10K as I create the first ever highway in 4T history.